Good stuff. 14 brave couples are busy working tirelessly on their latest starring roles. But who is looking like a Hollywood blockbuster and who's heading for box office disaster? The early reviews are in. It's time for Waite's warm-up. Ian is here! Suddenly a brighter place. It's movie week. Does this excite you, Mr. Waite?
She climbs a tree, she scrapes her knee, her dress has got to tear. She waltzes on the way to mass and whistles on the stair. And underneath her wimple, she wears colours in her hair. Maria's not an answer to the Shall I carry on? Of course, I can't wait. I can't wait.
That was something else. Normally he does it in the full outfit.
Yeah.
Where's your wand, Waitey?
Oh, sorry, yeah, here it is. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, perfect. Right, let's start with Alexandra and Gorka. I can't believe you just sang that. That was beautiful.
Oh, sorry
like
about
an
that.
angel. They are dancing a My Fair Lady inspired American smooth to Wouldn't It Be Lovely? Is It Looking Lovely?
Well, OK, she's been producing some amazing dances and I'm so impressed with her, not only because of her dance ability, but this early on in the week, she's managed to retain so much choreography. And I've slowed down these spins because not only is she spotting the spins in single time, then she goes, Gorka spins her into a double spin as well. So she's doing single, single, double, and then single. So amazing content with a really high difficulty, and she's managing to do it on a Tuesday, which is just amazing for me.
Sandra, nice work.
Yeah.
Aston and Jeanette are doing a cha-cha-cha. Amazing last week with their salsa. How are they looking? They're going to be dressed as trolls. Very cute.
Yeah, I loved their salsa last week. But my only issue with Aston is that his feet. I have an issue with his feet because sometimes he's not using them. They're a bit flat. And also sometimes he doesn't turn it out. But if I just show you here, so I'm going to spotlight his feet here. Now, she's obviously taught him to turn his feet out, and there you can see that front foot is well turned out from Aston there, so I'm really pleased with that.
Good boy.
But if you look at his back foot, foot is actually turned the same way, and his back foot should be turned out like that.
I know.
So he should have both feet should be turned out. Just don't think about the front foot. Don't just think about the front, you've got to think about the back foot as well.
Oh, God,
so
much to think about.
I know, it's a lot to think about, but for him, that's a
and
key
it's something
thing.
they'll pick up on.
Yeah.
OK, the Reverend Richard and Diane are doing a paso doble to Flash. Oh, I love you! It was terrible in rehearsals. They got there in the end. I mean, this is a Flash Gordon theme. Is this going to be as jaw-droppingly good as it sounds? Like it could be.
This was my favourite movie as a child. I just loved Flash. He was my favourite. I had a bit of a crush on him, I have to say. But I'd like to see a bit more resistance in his arms.
Yes.
And also he's got to get his arms up to create that shape in the body.
Oh, yes,
here, he's got his hand on his hips. Be careful, that's how I started.
OK.
And also, I like when he's doing this step, he really needs to create the shape in his arms. Now, we talk about shape in the body and shape in arms for paso doble. I think that's a cop-out. You know, if you don't know what to do with it, then stick it out.
OK. If in doubt, stick it out.
If in doubt, stick it out. That's what I wanted to say.
You're on form today. Gemma and Aliash are going all Jungle Book. They're doing a Charleston to the bare necessities. And scenes of training, this looks brilliant.
Yeah, wow. This is looking really like a fun, energetic dance. And it's about time we saw Gemma's personality come out. Because on the other, I think she's been very nervous. And they've been dances where she hasn't been able to do that. Whereas this dance is the opposite. I mean, she's able to put all in those fun moves and show her personality and shine through. She needs to make sure that she swivels a bit more on the parts where you do swivel, like the walks and the Charleston steps, which she doesn't do at the moment, but she does have trainers on, so maybe that's why.
And they
It's difficult. If they
don't
stick, that might be
swivel.
difficult for your knees.
Okay, Molly and AJ, a Sound of Music. You're going to love this one. Sound of Music themed American Smooth. Will this be one of your favourite things? Ian?
Well, I love Sound of Music, obviously. I know all the words off by heart. But she has got quite a lot of faults at the moment with her footwork. But it looks like he's just going through the steps, so I will forgive her for that. But she'll probably have it all sorted by Saturday. I would like her to focus on feet because they look a little bit weak. Her top half is fantastic, actually. She uses her arms nicely and she stands nicely. Okay. But the feet, pointing them in places just to finish off those lines.
Okay, oh gosh, so much to be done. Ruth and Anton, James Bond themed rumba. Will you be in 00 heaven watching these two? Anton
Well, yes. She does some nice swivels here at the top of this little clip. There are places where I find that she's not really 100%. She needs to look more convincing. So sometimes she looks a little bit lost.
Okay.
And I think if she lets Anton lead her, if he makes it sure that she knows what she's doing, I think she just has to go over everything as many times as possible. Keep running it, the whole routine. Yeah. Because I think sometimes it's not quite sure, and I'd like to see her a lot more sure in the face.
And then she'll be, and that confidence will
And then
come
I think
out
the
on
confidence will come out, yeah.
Okay. And Simon and Karen and their quick step as Toy Story's Buzz Lightyear and Jessie. I can't wait to see his outfit. How will their scores go to infinity and beyond here, possibly?
Well, I would like to see Simon a little bit more on the balls of his feet because it's a little bit ploddy at the moment, and to get that movement and to get that feeling of lightness, he needs to stay on the balls. It's very sort of pedestrian at the moment. He's stepping through there, and as you can see, he's turning out his foot in the promenade, and Karen, as you can see, is stepping through on a straight leg, a straight foot. So her foot's in the straight direction. Now, if he turns the foot out, he won't be able to roll through the foot. So he's going to check his body. So he needs to make sure that sometimes they're straight so he can roll through the foot. You know, we're talking about all the other dancers where they're not turning them out enough.
If they're in the right...
This is too much.
Okay.
Yeah, this is too much.
It's a fine line, people.
Yeah,
and finally, Susan and Kevin doing a samba. She's going to be dressed as Wonder Woman. This is going to be incredible.
Do you know what? I can't wait to see this. Wonder Woman was my favourite series as a child in the 70s. It really was.
It's all coming out tonight, isn't it?
I used to dress up like her all the time.
I'm sure you did.
I cannot wait. This is going to be fantastic.
Susan.
There are a lot of details in the samba that she's missing out, like here. Now, if you look at this, this is supposed to be a volta, and at the moment it just looks like a running forward like this.
I like it when you do that.
See what I mean?
Okay.
Now, if we do a little demonstration.
Oh, dear.
So if I hold your hand like that, now you're going to cross over in front. Now, make sure you bend the legs and you're crossed and your body's turned towards me. That's it. There you go.
This is
got to look like that.
Susan, you're going to go really seriously dizzy.
Susan, like that.
Maybe
very
not
good.
quite like that, Susan.
Very good bounce as well.
Is that a good bounce? Thanks.
Perfect.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, I loved it.
I love it when he gives me doggy chocks. Ian will return for the highly anticipated sequel tomorrow. Mr. Waite. Are there photographs of you dressed as Wonder Woman? We'll get them for you tomorrow. Time now for our final couple of the night. He tried to find Narnia in the back of a wardrobe, but all he found was a Strictly dance floor. It's Joe and Katya.
You went for it, but it was a little bit messy. Too much impetus, not enough control.
I wouldn't normally say this about a tango, but there was too much attack, too much energy. I know you can do better. I really know you can do it better.
I'm a fan. I believe in you. I know that you can do it, but it just wasn't today.
Well, I say, Joe and Katya are here. To the flashback. Thank you for singing the Flash theme earlier on, by the way, Joe. It was brilliant.
It's all right.
How was it for you, your tango?
It was fine. You know, I think the thing that I'm telling myself is that I'm human. I've been dancing for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. There's a lot going on when you're on that ballroom floor. There's lights everywhere, sparkle everywhere. Katya's spinning around like a dervish.
Shouting into your ear.
Now and again.
Right.
So there's a lot to distract you, and the lesson, I think, is to pay attention, to not get lost in the ether.
Oh, goodness me. it's so much easier said than done.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
There
it is.
So much. And the judges were quite sort of critical. We're talking about energy and attack, Katya. They gave you 22. Were the comments fair? Were the scores fair? What did you think?
I think, I think tango's meant to be attacking and, it's got to have the energy. And if we didn't go so wrong or had a bit more confidence in our performance, I think it wouldn't have mattered.
been fine,
yeah.
yeah.
It would have been the right thing. But because we had a few hiccups, scores are fair.
I shoved her away at one point. Get away! I don't know where I thought I was.
You maybe got really into character. Like, get away. Oh, no.
Back away.
But this does happen, though. It does. I mean, and I really think that on Saturday, everyone was very, very nervous. Week 2, I think,
Yeah, it
was
was
one of
a
the
funny
toughest.
energy back there.
Yeah.
I think because we knew somebody was going home and we didn't want to lose anyone,
Yeah.
and it all became very real all of a sudden.
That's when you were like, this competition.
and you think it's a competition because we thought it was just us all dancing about and having a bit of a laugh.
having a
but
lovely time.
They're going to send us home at some
We
point.
still are.
Oh, goodness
We
me.
still
And also, Shirley was talking about there too much stuff at the beginning. Joe was talking about how difficult it is for you as pros because you kind of choreograph to the music.
That's right.
Would you have put the waistcoat somewhere else if you'd known?
Maybe have a line.
We never look back.
Yeah.
Onwards and upwards
Yeah.
next week. So
Love it. Katya, by the way,
Draw
your
a line.
outfit is incredible.
Yeah, can you
today.
make a bit of an effort, please?
know,
You're on
please.
television. I look like a
It's just
scruffy uncle.
Incredible. I do look like Wonder Woman. Week 1, Craig says, I like you. Last week, he says he knows you can do better. Is that a little bit like when your mum and dad say, we're not angry with you, we're just disappointed?
Yeah, it is. It's a bit like positive reinforcement. We love it when you tidy your room. And then you go, oh, I better tidy my room. No, it's fine. And it was absolutely fair. Everything that he said was absolutely fair. I couldn't have disagreed with it at all.
so many lessons to learn. There's still a lot of belief. They said that we believe in you, you can do it. I believe in him, so
Yeah, that's joyous to hear.
Goodness me, I know,
Nothing.
we do. Obviously, Katya Chance with Ed Balls. He's been to see you, hasn't he? And has he parted any great words of wisdom to
he
you?
came down to rehearsals, didn't he?
yeah, very energetic.
Yeah, it was
Tips.
good. It was good because he was. The thing that sticks in my mind was that he said to use the audience because we're doing it for them and to sort of to feed off their energy. And those guys that are in there, they're so happy to be there. And the music and the singing and it sort of gets underneath you, that energy,
And
and
lifts you.
to not be scared by it. And that was really useful to hear because it might have thrown me otherwise. Some performance tips. It was
Thank
useful.
you, Ed, sharing there.
He's a good man.
This week, Movie Week.
Yes.
Viennese Waltz.
Yes.
Dr. Zhivago.
Right.
Listen to the music. You're going to be Lara and Yuri. There's going to be snow. I mean, this is so dreamy. It's making me sort of well up already.
Yeah, it's a Russian classic. It's moody, it's intense. A bit like someone else that I could mention.
Moody and intense. You cannot
That's
be
why
talking
I'm
about
so
Katya.
scruffy. I'm trying to grow a moustache in time for
Yeah.
Saturday.
You're
doing
Tune
very
in to find
well.
out if I get there or not.
Or whether you've got some things stuck to your face.
I'm trying not to have something stuck to my face because that might distract me.
Yes,
we've
it
learned,
might
we've learned that
distract you.
lesson
Also,
already.
like tickle your nose and stuff like that. I mean, at Movie Week as an actor, this must be quite good for you.
Yeah. I'm approaching every week as if it's a performance and as if I'm not being myself because it's easier that way to be someone else. And it's a classic. Everyone knows it, whether you've seen the
quite
film.
funny how as soon as I think quite a lot of pros will say that as soon as they enter the dance room, they think it's got to be something more, and I've got to be a dancer.
Embellish.
And even when we say just 2 walks. People try to do some funny moves, and then I have to kind of pull him back and walk like human.
Yeah, but then on the other side, but then you turn around and go, but be a dancer. And I'm like, how do I be a dancer?
They are
Imagine you're a
dancers.
dancer.
Imagine, walk like a dancer.
Walk like a dancer.
It's like trying to walk like a model and you end up doing sort of crazy stuff. So have you been working, has she taught you any Russian? To get you in the part?
Yeah, das, was, tres.
Раз, два, три.
Доброе утро is good morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello.
Very late. That was
Yeah.
my first day trying to impress her. But no,
And
I've been teaching her bits of Scottish.
have you managed to pick any...
You did?
Yeah, last week all we were talking is about the scores are going to be carried over to the next week.
No, Scottish. I'm not from Wales.
Is that bad?
Oh,
No,
I
it was
love
good, it was good.
Good luck.
Next week.
On Saturday, it's going to be a scorcher. Joe and Katya, thank you. That's all we have time for tonight. Huge thanks to all my guests. Tomorrow, I'll be here at 6:30. Aston and Jeanette, Alexandra and Gorka, and the Reverend Richard and Diane will be here. Ian will be back, plus putting on the glitz with Vicky Gill. Until then, good night.